Hello, welcome to a book in 5 minutes with me, Lindsay Milner. Today I'm looking at a book called The Art and Science of Personality Development, and it is written by Dan P McAdams. This book really is a psychology textbook. It's not a self-help, it's not a personal development book, it's a psychology textbook. That being said, it's actually quite readable. It's not heavy going in any way, and it is an interesting read. He posits that personality, first of all, it is an art and a science, but then he kind of synthesises a lot of the research into the psychology research into personality development over the lifespan, and he does take us through from when we're born, how we start to develop our personalities as we grow up, as we develop a theory of mind at around age 4, and how at age 5 to 7 we start to become more of a sort of motivated agent. We start to have our own ideas about what we want to do and how we want to live our lives, how we develop values, how we create goals for ourselves, and then into adolescence, how we look at developing our identity, how we work out who we are and what we want in life. He suggests that personality comprises 3 kind of elements, and as a newborn we become a social actor. It's about how we interact with others in our lives right from the outset, and obviously throughout our entire lives. It's about how we fit into the world, how do we work with other people. As we get a little bit older and we start having our own goals and ideas and shaping our own values, we become what he calls a motivated agent. We start to make decisions for ourselves, we start to decide what we want to do and how we want to live our lives. And then the third aspect that he talks about is the autobiographical author, about how we write our own life story, even if we don't actually literally sit down and write it, about how we create stories that provide the meaning in our lives, about how stories help us to define and shape who we are. So, should you read this book? Well, only if you're interested in the psychology of it, only if you're probably a psychology student. I don't think that, or not necessarily a student, just if you are interested in psychology generally. It is a good idea to read this book from beginning to end, all the way through, to understand the lifespan, understand the things that we go through throughout our lives. I was particularly interested in the last part, the autobiographical order, and he does have another book, The Stories We Live By, which I'm going to come to and read that, because I think that sort of gives us a little bit more of an insight into why and how we tell ourselves stories and how those stories shape our identity. So I think, it's an interesting read if you are interested in psychology and how we live our lives. If you wanted something that was really about your personal development, about how to achieve your goals, about how to make the changes, behavioural changes that you want in your life, there are definitely books that are more worth your investment in time than this one. This won't give you the answers as such, but it will give you actions to take forward. It's not about that, it's about how we get to where we are. So yeah, it's a fascinating read. I would recommend it if you're interested in the psychology of how we live our lives and how we become the people that we are, how our stories affect, the stories that we tell ourselves and we share with others in the world, how that does make a difference to how we live our lives. So yeah, a good read. but maybe not for everyone. It does depend what your intent is in actually sitting and reading the book. It's a great synthesis if you're a psychology student or even an unofficial interested in psychology. So that is The Art and Science of Personality Development, and it is by Dan P McAdams. I'm Lindsay Milner, that's this week's book. I will see you again next time. Bye.